this computer. All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to part 2 of the art and science of blending essential oils. So last week, we had Lindsey Teeter teach us about morphology. Is it morphology that she called it? Which is,
yes.
She talked about the different seeds and roots and barks and leaves and flowers of the plants and the qualities and how we can use them, just like they use it for themselves, for us, and start to create and blend and become our own alchemists to create our own blends. So last week was all education. We emailed you guys a recording for that. We also emailed you some worksheets that we'll be using today. If you don't have them, not to worry. You can grab just a regular piece of paper and then start writing this down. And then in your email, you can look at that stuff that we sent you. Also, you're going to be using your own essential oils, and we also sent you a link of things to buy, like the rollers and the droppers and things like that. If you don't have them, again, don't worry about it. You can still watch this and then rewatch it again and do it on your own. But for now, I do want to know, what kind of materials do you have with you? Do you have sprayers? Do you have rollers? Do you have droppers? Do you have like little glass bowls like this for scrubs? So type in the chat, what is something that you want to create? A spray, a roller, like a scrub, something like a dropper bottle like this, so that we know what we're working with that you have. Welcome, Lindsey.
Yes, like Barbara mentioned, if you don't have any of these things, it's okay. You can always just learn how to make your blends, how to combine the base, the middle, the top, and then you can get really creative on what to do. Like you can make your cleaning products. Hi,
so here's the video. Hi. Here's where we get to see them.
Awesome.
And then the chat also. We're going to have you right over here so I can be real close to this chat here. Perfect. Connect with them. So we just told them, I think all of them were here last class, but some of the people are going to be watching their replay. And so last week it was all education about the base, the middle, and the tops. Mm-hmm. And then today we're going to get to use that and actually create. So I've asked them to put in the chat what kind of materials they have, so we have an idea. And then if you have an idea of something that you want to make. Do you want to make something for your skin? Do you want to make something for your hair? Do you want to make something for anything you got going on? Like my grandmother the other day called me, do you have anything for high blood pressure? And I made her a roller, okay? I looked it up on the books. I saw what I had, and then I created something from that. Look at me looking at this camera because I'm used to looking at that, but we're over here. And, so I sent it to her, and, I should hear back from her and see how she's doing with that soon. So type in the chat. Jennifer has supplies. I think she has roller. I'm not sure if she knows how to chat. So maybe ask her to hold them up or unmute. All right, Jen. You may unmute or hold up your materials that you have, if you have rollers and things like that. And then also good to know, what essential oils do you have? Obviously, if you have 20, you don't need to mention them, but maybe some essential oils that you want to do something with, but you don't know what you can do with them. Okay, so you can let us know that as well. Jennifer has a roller. Hey, Jennifer found the chat. Here we go. Hey. All right. Awesome. Kira, I have a crazy jar collection, though I am super interested in the sprayer. Okay, that's cool because you can learn to do it. Jessica's gonna do a linen spray.
A linen spray you can use to spray around the bedroom before going to bed. You can spray it in the shower. You can spray it even in your car. It's gonna be more like relaxing. So maybe not in the car for this one, but you can just know that you can make sprayers for your car to freshen your car instead of using those toxic air fresheners that they sell or that they spray when you get your car washed. Say no to that, and you can make your own, and it smells delicious. Every time I have somebody get in the car, it's like, your car smells amazing, of course. Oil fairies, cars is going to smell amazing.
And well, Cynthia, what you got? You got some rollers or sprayers?
I don't have anything yet.
I can hear, my love. Are you?
Can you hear me?
I see her lips moving. Right?
Yeah.
Nicole, can you speak? Do I hear you, Nicole?
Can you hear me? No, and I'm on mute. Okay.
No wonder we kept asking you guys to unmute and say something. We could not hear
Mac
anything,
speakers,
so.
Mac Air, iPhone. Yeah, it's my mic. My Mac here should be working, so we can.
Can anyone hear me?
Mm,
I can hear you.
Are you guys connected
me
to?
talking?
No, Nicole, I can't hear you. I know. I see you moving.
Unmute yourself, Nicole.
She's not muted.
Oh.
You need to be connected to the mic for whatever mic you're using.
Yeah, can you hear me talking?
For that.
Can you hear me talking, Cynthia?
Yes, I hear you.
Okay, so,
Yes.
okay.
Cynthia, you hear Nicole, and Nicole hears you?
Yes.
No, it's white. You hear me? That's weird.
Well, Cynthia's can hear Nicole.
And I don't have this on at all, so it's not connected to
that?
anything
Yeah,
else.
it's not connected to this either. This is off.
Mm-hmm.
So strange.
Well, technical difficulties. Mm-hmm. Mac speakers. Your ringtone.
Can you hear Cynthia Reyes?
No, they can't hear you. That's why.
Oh,
Yeah, just me and you can hear each other, but we can't hear. They can't hear us.
oh, because I saw there's another Cynthia. That's why I wasn't sure which one they were talking to.
Oh no, I think it's you.
It says Cynthia Fannin.
Oh, cool. Okay, yeah. Then maybe there's
You can
another.
pause.
Cynthia. Oh,
I
I
pause
hear
to
you.
hear replay.
This is Cynthia Fannin. I can hear both of you.
Oh,
Oh,
wonderful.
okay.
Okay,
Oh,
so
hear
we
us
can
in
all
front
hear
of
each
them.
other. Got it.
That's weird. Let's see if I can just put the phone on then. Join audio. Call you the internet audio. Can you mute this one now? So
Can you
we
guys
don't
hear
get
now?
the-
Because it just said you were connected.
Now she's on mute.
Yeah. So what she's trying to do is hear us from a different audio.
Okay.
So then they can. I think they can probably hear us now.
Yeah, we can hear now. Can you hear us?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, we're gonna do it with the phone
Okay.
instead of the computer. Alrighty then. We are, okay, Cynthia, you were saying.
Which Cynthia?
Reyes.
Okay. Yeah. I said I don't have anything yet, but I guess the rollers would be nice.
Cool. Awesome. All right. So think about a couple of things that you may want to address. It could be like it could be for like your skin, for glowing skin. It could be for any kind of skin issue, or it could be for digestive issues, or for sleeping better, for reducing stress, for muscle tension. Just think about a topic, something that you may be experiencing that you want to use the oils and create a roller to target that.
Type in the chat box what rollers you guys want, Cynthia and Jennifer. What ailment are you looking to target?
Yeah, what is your why? What's your why? So that's what we start with. So one of the things that we sent you in the email, if you got it, is the blending diary that Lindsey created, because she was doing this. She was learning about all this, and she's like, I need to write the stuff down that I'm making. And she couldn't find a blending diary, so she created her own. And I can't wait till the day that it's an actual diary that we can buy and have with us. So we have our own little, potion, nice little journal.
Yeah.
But for now, we've got this, and you always begin with your why. You begin like, what's the intention? Why do you want to do a blend, right? Mm-hmm. And I love that because it's a concept you can use for anything. That's how we start yoga. Our intention. What's our why? Why are we practicing? Can we use that for our regular life? We wake up. What's my why today? What's my intention for today? Even for cooking, like for everything. What's my intention for creating this beautiful meal? How do I want to feel after? Exactly. What am I eating for? Am I eating just because I'm hungry? I just want to eat whatever. Am I eating for nutrients? Am I eating to balance my hormones? Am I eating to gain weight, to lose weight? Right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's your why. The big why. Mm-hmm. So if you can figure that out, and all right, a whole right, left side. Sciatica, arthritic knee, painful bottom foot, the whole left side. All right. So if I'm going to talk to you like a yoga teacher, our left side is our feminine side. And so that would mean something like, the right side. If it's your left side, feminine side, are there some more feminine practice that you might need in your life, that you might, need to invite more in your life that maybe you're not inviting? What are some feminine actions that you can be taking that maybe you are not? Okay. A lot of that could be self-care, resting, you know, like creating boundaries that are healthy for you. You know, also it could be that you hurt something on your left side, right? And then that's a cause for that.
It can also be that maybe you're standing on your left leg more than the right one. Sometimes, depending on our job or what we're doing on a daily basis, you know, we favor one side because it feels more comfortable, but then over time that can create an imbalance. So just really paying attention to like what physical activities are you doing that may be aggravating that, and finding, like Barbara was saying, a more gentle practice, something that's going to bring you back into balance. And of course, using the essential oils and anti-inflammatory foods that are going to help to reduce any inflammation that may be going on right now.
And that also is great for Cynthia Fannin, who says joint pain due to menopause. So again, because we're both health coaches and yoga teachers, and yes, this is about essential oils, we're always going to take it back to the root cause, because Lindsey said something really awesome last week, which is that, you know, essential oils, like the plants, something about like the plants don't necessarily need the essential oils.
Yeah, essential oils are essential to a plant, so they can actually survive without the essential oils. The essential oils add a protective barrier, or they add an extra to a plant. Mm-hmm. And that's what makes them so essential, but it's the essence of the plant.
And then for us in the same way, it's not, you know, they're gonna enhance, they're gonna support in that way. It's kind of like the cherry on top, but we need to also go back to the root cause. Mm-hmm. What is causing, you know, the inflammation? Due to this, due to that. I hurt myself, right? Just kind of going back to that. What foods I'm not eating? Who is inflaming me? That's another thing.
Emotional pain could be a fear of something. Fear gets stuck in the hips. So that's another thing to look at.
All right, but we're not going to dive so deep. Let's keep it the essential oils. But just so you know, those are all the things. And that's what we do when we're like doing coaching sessions and things like this. It's like we want to go to the root cause. Okay. All right. Low back and right knee pain. All right. Kira, something for stomach, combining from a perspective of channeling too many emotions through my stomach. Yes, because this is where we digest not only our food, but we're also digesting life. We're digesting life's experiences. That's why when we get nervous, when we're in love, all the things. It's like, yeah, they say that, you know, we've got the three, is it the three brains or the three hearts?
Second brain.
This is a second brain. We have three hearts.
Well, it's like you can see it as the brain or the heart, but we've got the brain, we've got the heart, and we have the gut. Mm-hmm. But it's like the three ways that we kind of make decisions with. Mm-hmm. That's right. Decisions with our heart, with our brain, and then that gut instinct. So they communicate all the time. Okay, so a lot of times, like what's going on in the heart, it's going to be affecting our gut, or it's going to be affecting our mind as well. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right, we're going real deep here, you guys. Okay. All right, so, and here's another thing. When I look at this, I go, because I already know what the blends that doTERRA has, I'm like, oh, you know, what's the difference between, like, I could just easily pick up a blend that doTERRA made.
Mm-hmm. That's true. I always find that blending, even if you don't have the blend itself, if you can reference one of those blends, that's a really easy way to figure out great oils to use that have a synergy that will align to help treat your ailment. So a lot of times, like digestion, I think of Digestive Zen. I've had so much success with it. So I think about what are the components in there when I'm, fundamentally starting my blends that I could apply to mine that I may have in a single oil that could do just the same work. First one that comes to mind is like a peppermint. Mm-hmm. Peppermint is in Digestive Zen. Anise, I believe is, yeah.
Fennel. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So, for example, right off the bat, I would tell you, those of you with the pain, we've got a really great blend, which is Deep Blue, right? It's in an essential oil form, and it's also in a rub, okay? And there's actually a whole line of Deep Blue, which is for also supplements for they're anti-inflammatory supplements and for pain management. And then there's the rubs, the topical rub or the essential oil as well. Now, if you're like, I don't have that blend. Okay, what are some of the oils? What can we start to look at? All right, we know that we want a base, we want a middle, and we want a top. Generally, the bases are
your resins, your seeds, your
Right.
roots, yeah,
And barks.
exactly. So what are some oils that you may have at home that have those qualities? Okay, frankincense, arbor vitae, copaiba.
Ginger and turmeric are great anti-inflammatories on your root. So maybe you don't have the deep blue, but you have turmeric and you have ginger. And you can create a blend with those.
Those are great ones.
So let's see.
Great anti-inflammatory.
And then a middle for that, and then there's a middle and then there's a top. So here I'm gonna name what the blend has, which is the one for pain. So either you can easily like get the blend already made. And one of the things that they talked about in convention was the synergy of the oils. They've already been doing this. They've been doing the research, right? There are people doing this, blending this up. Okay, these are the ones that work best together. They have the best synergy. We've got wintergreen, and that's a what?
That's going to be a middle to top.
Okay, and then we've got camphor.
Camphor.
I think camphor is a middle to top.
Peppermint.
It's going to be a middle to top. I believe it's middle, but in thinking because it comes from the leaves.
Yeah.
And so that's how I can recall so quickly is
It's middle.
because I think about where they get it from, and it's coming from the leaves of the plants.
Peppermint.
Peppermint, middle.
Cananga.
Cananga, I'm not
It's a
sure.
flower. That's a flower.
Okay, so that's going to be a top.
Ylang-ylang.
Top.
Helichrysum.
Helichrysum, probably a top.
Blue tansy.
Blue tansy, I think, comes from the flower as well. So it's going to be either a middle or top.
German chamomile.
German chamomile comes from the flower as well.
And osmanthus.
I'm
Flower.
not sure about that one.
Osmanthus flower.
Okay.
Extract. So deep blue is called, they give it the blue because it's blue, because of the blue tansy. Blue tansy is actually a white flower, but when they extract it, because of something with a Z and an M, it turns blue. So it's blue.
Chamazoline.
Chamazoline. There you go. Chamazoline.
And so it doesn't happen until they start the distillation process, but in the process, the oil actually has a blue pigment. And so typically, any blue oils are going to be much more sensitive to any type of environmental instability. So keeping them, possibly in your fridge, if you get a fresh bottle and you don't plan to use all of it right away, is usually a good plan. Making sure that you aren't putting them in really hot temperatures, because they can actually go bad. Bad in the sense, not that they're going to evaporate, but that they will, you may put one on one day and you may feel a little bit of a weird tingle. And that means that it actually has oxygenated, and that's what you feel on your skin.
Is it rancid? Is that a word for that?
Similar to rancid.
Some oils go rancid and they smell different. They smell slightly different. Like, it smells kind of different. It just changes.
The chemistry changes.
chemistry
And
changes.
it gets pushed over the threshold. So you always want to be careful with your blue oils.
Is there a good substitute for wintergreen?
Any of the mints.
Any of the mints, right? Like spearmint, peppermint, spearmint.
Eucalyptus could probably.
Although wintergreen is a hot oil, it's warm when you apply it on the skin, so diluted. And some of the other oils are cooling oils, like peppermint. So
That is true.
depending on, but I would say for the people that have a lot of pain, joint pain, you can make a super strong blend with this, and then maybe add a little turmeric in there and add a little ginger. I would. What do you think about that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So also let us know what are some of the oils that you think that you can start to play with. So I want you to start to think about. So we've got the base, and I like the idea of thinking of the tree, right? So at the bottom, the base, because that's what you put first in your blend, whether it's a diffuser, roller spray, whatever you're doing, it's those roots, those seeds, okay? Then we've got the middles, which is more like your branches and your leaves. Some flowers.
Some flowers. Like ylang-ylang can be a middle or a top.
Okay. And then we've got, and yeah, they can kind of be the same, middle, top sometimes. And then think of your tops, what's at the top of the tree of the plant. You've got your flowers and you've got your fruits, right? So most of the time, a lot of the citrus will be your top, okay? And then to review again, you're gonna do like a 20% 60%, 20%?
Yep. So you want 20% top and base. And then in the middle, you want the other 40 to 60%. So you'll want to choose anywhere from 2 to 3 middles, and also 1 base note. You want to start with those, right? Because that's the meat of your blend. So typically start with the base. That's going to have a note that sticks around the longest when you apply the topical as well. And then with your middles, that gives you your variety. So, we have a lot of middles that could be a bark, it could be a leaf, it could be, you have a flower that could transition between. So it's really good to also even use other resources like your Emotional Essential Oils book or the Essential Life book.
This is a great book.
Mm-hmm. And you can figure out more details about therapeutic offerings from the plant itself, like we're doing with looking at the Deep Root blend. And then finally, top off your blend with a top note. And I recommend typically for a 10 ml bottle, you want to try to use like 15 drops total. So that's going to be 2 to 3 drops of a base, 1 to 2 drops of each middle, and then 2 to 3 drops of a top, right? That's about 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And you'll have a couple of extra drops to play with after that.
Because there's always one extra that comes out.
I have a question. So what if I'm doing a blend and I can't find a top that I want to combine with my base in my middle? Can I just keep it that way? Or do I have to have a top?
You can keep it that way. It depends on your why, right? If you're using it for pain, that's great. You're not putting it there to have
An uplifting effect.
exactly, or a total fragrant effect on it. You want it to be realistic. Now, to treat your ailment, right? Effective, that's the word I was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
So you can leave them out, but it is always recommended to try and find something just to kind of give you that nudge, give you that difference and balance within your blend.
And usually they're flowers, so it's nice to just put like a little bit of an essence of a
Or
flower.
citrus.
Or citrus, because flowers are very high vibration, so they're always going to make us feel good.
Definitely. Some other things that come to mind that may not be, like lavender comes to mind. It's so versatile, I think, in blends, and it's really complementary. And if I remember correctly, lavender is a top to a middle. And so that can help with, anxiety, that can help you with stress, that can help you with pain as well, because it is a relaxing, helps you with sleep. Super versatile, easy top to throw into the mix. That's not a citrus. So if you're trying to avoid the sun, that is a really good option for you to try.
I already have one blend in mind as we have been speaking, and I know that this blend can be used in a diffuser. It can be used in a linen spray. It can be used in a roller bottle to apply it on the bottoms of your feet or wherever you want to apply it, not in your eyes, any holes in the face or anything, of course.
Any holes.
But you can use it to make your cleaning, household cleaning product. You can pretty much use this blend for everything, but it's going to be a relaxing, grounding blend. And I can't wait to share it with you guys. You're going to love it.
Melissa is up top, right?
Yeah, it's got flowers. So I'm ready to make my blend whenever you girls are ready.
Middle?
Melissa can be a middle.
Melissa can be a middle. Okay. So now I just wanted to show you real quick. So I went to this book. This is an old version, you guys. You always want to get the latest version because the latest version has the latest products in it. So this is 6th edition. Is probably like, I don't know, 7th or 8th by now. I'm not really sure. But I went to pain, okay, A to Z of ailments. So here's pain. And then it gives me, you can't really see there, but it gives me a list of oils for that. And it starts with red, and then it goes with orange, and then green, okay? The red meaning the most potent and powerful one for that. And then not so much, and then the least powerful for that, but if that's what you got, that's what you work with, okay? So that's one way to begin with your blends. Oh, okay, here are all the oils. All right, I have 3 of those oils. All right, one of these oils is a base, a middle, and a top. How can I start to combine them so there's synergy? And also, is it something that you're gonna be smelling all the time? You also want it to smell good, right? Unless it's purely medicinal, maybe it doesn't smell so good, you're putting it on the bottoms of the feet, right? It's something where
Or before you go to sleep, somebody else has to smell it, but you know it's very beneficial for you.
Yeah, like I did one for my hair, and Brian's like, why do you smell like the spice rack?
because it had thyme and it had rosemary and it had peppermint. So be mindful of the people that you live with also. And that's why you start small, right? Yeah. Take your notes, start with 15 drops. If it's not the most pleasant thing, at least it was only 15 drops total, you can try something new.
Oh, one way that I find is really great to see, kind of experiment, see if you're gonna like the blend, is you open up the bottles of the blend, the oils that you want to blend, and put them together like this, right?
Yeah, that is a good way. You always just want to be careful though. Don't leave them open for too long. Put your caps back. That does smell beautiful.
Right?
What is it?
So this is frankincense, rose, and tangerine. I just came up with it.
And so frankincense would be your base. Tangerine's going to be your top.
Yes.
And rose is one of those flowers. It's very flexible. It's actually a middle. I believe it can even be a base at times, depending on what type of blend.
Well, she's a queen.
She's the queen, so she can
Could
be
be
in the
anything.
bottom, the top, or the middle, whatever she wants.
Whatever she wants, she gets. So yeah.
Come and go. Come and go.
Now?
Yes, sideways though.
Sideways?
Are we back?
How are we sideways? So weird.
Nope, other way. There, oh, there you go. Perfect.
That work?
Yes, I can see you. We can see you.
So it's two different things, one being a blood clot and one being a type of skin cancer. But this thing, it like explodes in weeks. I somehow my knowledge is that may not be actually skin cancer. Yeah.
We are sideways.
Still?
Yes.
Doesn't look sideways.
Perfect.
The time is going on retrograde now or something? What's happening?
What's happening? It happened a few days ago, so that's probably why. I'm Mercury though.
All right, there we go. Let's begin.
Well, I haven't had a look, but
Right here, is it?
I don't know what it is. We gotta get to the root of it.
Mommy. Our biggest fan.
All right. All right, so we're gonna start a blend, and what is your intention? What's the why for that blend?
So my intention is to feel grounded, to feel connected to my intuition, and to feel uplifted. So I've chosen frankincense, which is the king of oils, to help me feel grounded. Rose, the queen of oils, to help me to connect with my intuition, and then tangerine to create that uplifting, invigorating effect. So I'm going to use sugar. with this one because rose is very sweet to me. So I'm gonna choose the sugar scrub. This is this is just for one-time use. So I just grabbed a little cube cup and I put a 1/4 cup of sugar. I'm gonna do the same amount of oil, 1/4 cup.
And which type of oil?
This is coconut oil.
Fractionated, right?
Fractionated coconut oil. So you're gonna have to experiment. As you can see, that probably needs a little bit more sugar, right? So it depends on how coarse you want your scrub.
We have not put any oils in yet.
We haven't put any oils yet. There you go. And if you have leftover oil, you can add more sugar so that you have scrub for the next day. So let's, since the ratio is 20-60-20, I'm gonna do 2 drops of frankincense. You tell me if, you know, what you think about the formula. 1 drop of rose, because rose is very special.
Oh my gosh. And very important.
Very funny. Just 1 drop. Whoop. And you get to keep this, Barbie.
Put in another one more. Another. You need to, because you're supposed to put more of the middle. Right? You're supposed to put more in the middle.
Okay, as you wish.
You gotta, we're teaching them. You gotta do it.
All right. Just so you know, rose is very, very powerful and very strong. You only need 1 drop. It's like $4 a drop.
I'll take you out for tea.
Oh, it's okay, baby. We are abundant. I can smell it from here.
You can.
And I'm gonna do 3 drops of tangerine.
Okay.
All right. Let's mix
Need a
it
little-
up. I need a little mixer. Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah. The tangerine really complements it well.
Yeah. So you guys, I didn't bring this. I didn't bring what I'm going to share with you now. But if you want to create a shimmery effect on your skin, so let's say you do this, you know, before you go out to be in the sun, because it has the tangerine, I would recommend not do it before. You know, citruses are not really good to do before you go out in the sun. So let's say you didn't have the citrus, but you wanted to add like a shimmery look to your skin. You can use something called mica. Mica or mica? I think it's mica. Mica, it's mica. And you know how Victoria's Secrets back in the day they used to put shimmer in their products? We can do the same, but it's all natural. And there you go. So we'll definitely add a little bit more sugar to that. But
And so we did have a question come across about the oils and would we blend them before we added them to our mix or to our carrier. If you're blending into a roller or a sprayer, typically I would recommend, if you have the time to wait after you blend, I highly recommend letting them have their chemical interactions with each other and building their synergy. There's nothing wrong with doing it this way. You're still going to get the aromatic complements and the therapeutic when it touches your skin. The only thing is you're going to really smell a difference in the notes. Like I could smell the tangerine. I can smell the rose. It's not going to smell like its own blend as much.
okay. I feel like it needs a little bit more frankincense, more of the base.
It does. It's very toppy right now.
Yeah, it's very toppy, meaning I put more
And
of
so
the tangerine.
really important, let's write down what we've put in so far.
Yes.
So we've done 2 drops of rose, 3 drops of tangerine, and 2 drops of frankincense. 2, 3.
I would like to add an extra drop of frankincense as the base.
Okay.
Thank you, Barbie.
Can you smell really quick?
I can't.
Awesome. So then if you were to do that then in a roller, you would recommend that we do the essential oils first and let them sit like overnight or something. And then the next morning you'll top it off with whatever carrier oil you want to use. Fractionated coconut oil, jojoba, whatever it is. Maybe even rosehip oil since you're doing the rose with that.
Yes.
Right?
That would make a great perfume.
And so, yeah, they would. And then if we wanted to do a sprayer, the same thing. We would add the drops
and then top it off with, what would you top it off with?
I would top it
For the
off.
linen.
I would top it off with 11.5 alkaline water. That's because I have a machine that creates that kind of water, but you can just use distilled water.
And when you do add your drops in and let them blend, you're going to want to put the cap on tight, because if not, the oils could evaporate, and you want to store them, not in the sun. And then when you add your blend in, when you add your carrier oil in, it will have a nice complement for you. But you would want to store that sealed just like you would any of your essential oils. Treat them the same and allow that chemical reaction to happen.
And always shake the sprayers, especially when you're mixing them with regular water, because as you know, water and oil don't mix. So you want to mix it as best as you can so that it can go through the pump and not clog the pump. That's why I like to use 11.5 water, because 11.5 water, it emulsifies oil. It mixes with oil.
It does.
So it works better with the pump. And if you're interested in learning more about alkaline water, reach out to me and I can guide you.
And Peggy here, she asked if the last oil that you put in is going to be the stronger smell in your roller spray or anything that you mix. So typically, if you follow the blending method laid out on the diary, you will be putting your top in last, which will be in any of your blends the first smell and notes that you get from your mix, but it'll also be the shortest duration. Right, so you'll smell your tops for probably 30 minutes to an hour after applying your blend. Then you're going to smell more of the middle notes, and then after that, you got a couple of hours, and then you're going to mostly smell the base notes.
That's
of your
fascinating.
blend.
That's really cool.
Let's see, did I catch all the questions? I took care of Kira, I believe.
Yeah.
Nicole says, believe to Jessica, tell the story about the cold water in the rose when you gave her your.
The cold water?
Tell the story about the cold water and the rose when you gave me mine.
Oh, cold water, you mean the sprayer?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
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 Okay. You want me to tell her right now?
I think that's what she wants.
Can you mute yourself and share the story yourself? I want to hear from you. I want to remember what story.
Yeah, it was just, remember when we put it in the cold water and it didn't move in the bottle, the rose oil stayed together and then we let it cool down. So I wanted you to talk about how it can affect that, because we
I understand now. I was thinking, okay, so rose oil is the only oil that when it gets a little bit cold outside, or if it's really cold in your house, air conditioning cold, or you go into a cold environment, it's going to thicken up. So you have to warm it up in your hands so that it dissolves and becomes liquid again. Do you have anything to add to that? And the reason why that happens?
I do not. I know that it has to do with the way that they extract it. And it's going to be some of the chemical compounds in it. I don't know off the top of my head though, but I remember them mentioning it during convention.
So what comes to mind is, you know how coconut oil also becomes hard when it gets really cold because of the fats in the oil? I feel like perhaps there are some fats in the rose oil.
I don't know
from
about
the
the
petals.
fats in it, but some other chemical
Something.
substituents.
Yeah. And because it's extracted with a solvent, it goes through a different process in filtration than what a typical oil would. That's steam distilled, which is from water. And water is viscous at room temperature. So
maybe it's just really rich and thick, but I just thought it was really interesting. And then you made it, it seemed as if it didn't work. So if anybody was getting that precious oil, one drop does go a long way. Yeah, that's what we kind of learned. Okay.
Yeah, and if you ever, when you get your rose oil, don't freak out if that happens. I've had people call me, why is this happening? It's normal.
What is the fact again? It's how, for one drop, it's how many rose petals?
10,000. For one bottle, it's one 5 ml bottle, it's 10,000 petals.
For one bottle.
I don't know about drops. I know about bottles, and there are
One
80
bottle is 10,000 rose petals. That's pretty crazy, I know. And you get this little precious bottle, so it's a beautiful oil.
It's a really pretty pink rose from Bulgaria, and they're all handpicked by the farmers, by the women there.
So I'm saving all my points for it. That's my
Yes, because now we can use points we used to not be able to.
I am like, I got mine last year for December. It was my Christmas present to myself.
Some other florals though that are great. I see here they're asking for stress relief. And so talking on stress relief. So what is stress, right? What body parts does that affect, right? You have your endocrine system, okay? Or your nervous system. Stress can affect your
Everything. All the systems.
Yeah,
But
all the systems,
I
pretty
want somebody to tell me, type in the chat, where does stress originate from? What part of it, where is the stress coming from? Type in the chat. The first one who types it in, I'm gonna mail them a wild orange.
The gut?
No, she was writing something else.
Oh.
For stress relief is either. The gut. Okay? So there's a lot of research that's coming out from the gut. Stress definitely affects the gut, for sure. And then that is affecting every other system as well, because it's all working together. My head, yes, Kira. Please send me your address. Send me a private message with your address. Stress comes from our head, you guys. It's all freaking made up, okay? Now, that's not to say that we don't have physical stress. Like, let's say we worked out too hard. That's physical stress. We got into a car accident. We've got, physical stress. But 99.9%, I just made that percentage up, but 99.9% of the time, stress is from here. And it's perceived stress. It's stress from past experiences. It's stress from what we're hearing in the news. It's stress from things that are happening in our lives that are stressful, okay? So it starts in the mind, and that is then affecting, yes, the endocrine system, is affecting our gut, is affecting every system of the body, okay? Chronic stress is the number one cause of a lot of the chronic diseases that we have. And it's the majority of it, it's made up in our heads. We're taking in information, we're taking in lives happenings, and we're making up stories about that. We're responding because of past experiences or our parents' experiences or whoever's experiences that we're taking in. And we're making that situation super stressful. And if we're not processing it, if we are not using our tools, meditation and yoga and eating healthy and expressing this stress and using your oils, then it's going to start to manifest into a pain here, inflammation here, another thing over there. And it starts to, the stress is at the top there. And if we can go back to really, really, really working on our mindset, working on how are we responding to life's experiences, then we can start to mitigate, what that stress is doing to us. And essential oils is a great way to kind of be the pattern interrupter in that, okay? So I would love to, if you can help us break down adaptive, because adaptive is the blend that doTERRA has created to deal specifically with stress. And if we look at the ingredients, we have wild orange,
Uplifting,
we have lavender,
calming,
copaiba,
anti-inflammatory and also calming,
spearmint,
uplifting,
leaves, like herbs, magnolia,
flower, the flower,
rosemary,
relaxing, middle, concentration, focus,
neroli,
flower,
and sweet gum.
Sweet gum is a unique one. I'm not
Should
sure.
a resin? I think I have a feeling it's a resin.
Probably.
And neroli, it's also hormonal balancer. Okay, so adaptive blend is a blend that it's working it has everything, right? It has the base, it has the roots, it has the resin, it has the flower, it has the leaf, it has minty, so it has all the things in one beautiful blend. I love adaptive to help with. It's a calming blend, so it helps to mitigate, to calm anxious feelings.
And so
that's like
I
the
think
stress one.
one of our questions was the flowers. So that gave you, I think, about 4 or 5 different flowers there. Magnolia, neroli, lavender. Those are all things that you can use to de-stress. I don't believe we named any citrus oils, actually.
Yeah, they're citrus. Wild orange is the first
wild
one.
orange,
You guys are
the
funny.
first one.
So where does stress come from? From Trump. So that's stuff that life is, it is, right? That is a reality that's happening. How are we taking that in? Are we internalizing that? Worry, 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 oh my God, right? Or what can we do from that? My husband.
We open up the bottle,
My stress.
we breathe it in, and we let that shiitake go.
My shiitake go.
Let shiitake go.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, we can't really be in a bad mood and be surrounded by beautiful flowers. So adding flowers to your blends is a really great idea.
So what would be a best blend to make on your own with that roller for stress? Okay. So let's say you're like, I don't have adaptive. Let's say you don't like that smell, and then you can create, that's another great thing to create your own. Let's say that you don't like the doTERRA.
Because there's something in there that you just don't quite have, you haven't quite learned how to love.
And another thing that's in the blends is that a lot of them have oils that are not available for sale on their own. So you only get them in the blend. So that's one cool thing about that. But something to create on your own,
Let's think of our base. Let's start with the base.
what's a base that you like that makes you feel
So think of your roots, your resins. Resins really come to mind for me on stress and anxiety. Copaiba, vetiver.
Vetiver.
Vetiver is a very thick oil. It has a very potent smell, so definitely, try it out first. But it's very, very effective at calming. And think about the resin. It comes from the middle of a tree. It helps it with its stability. It helps it with its strength. And then think of your roots. You have ginger, you have turmeric. Not something typical that you might think first off, but it does root them into the ground. So that is something that would apply well to stress relief. And then let's think about our barks, our trees, right?
I love sandalwood.
Mm-hmm.
I love sandalwood, or frankincense, sandalwood, cedarwood. Well, I like a lot of them as a base. I really love, and I was on a kick on arborvitae. Did you figure out how to say that? Arborvitae.
Yes.
For a while, but I think it takes. It's so strong that it just takes.
It's very overpowering.
Very woody. It's great in a diffuser.
You know what it reminds me of? Number 2 pencil.
It reminds me of leather. It kind of smells leathery. Like
really?
Yeah, like
Brand new.
really brand new leather.
So
You're good for a refreshener in the car.
a blend that I do for when I'm feeling like that, and let's say I don't want to do adaptive, I like cedarwood with lavender and bergamot. I love it, and I diffuse it.
I want to write that down. Can you say it again?
Yeah, it's cedarwood, lavender, and bergamot. Bergamot is a citrus oil, lavender is the flower, and cedarwood is the base.
So being that you have a citrus in there, you will want to be cautious with being exposed to the sun, photosensitivity with that oil. That's one of the most sensitive oils, I guess, when you wear this bergamot.
That's why I only use it in the diffuser. I try not to make rollers with citrus on it, just to make sure that I don't put it on and go out in the sun. So I try to make my rollers without citrus.
Bergamot is really, really great for drinks, you guys, but you have to use very, very little, the toothpick method. So you just dip, you put 1 drop on the tablespoon, you wet the tip, and then you put it inside your drink. It makes amazing tonics and elixirs.
So I'm creating a blend here that now you guys, I'm going off of, because I know what these oils are for and a lot of intuition. You can't see it here, but I have a little thing here with all my oils. And sometimes when I'm just like, oh, I don't know what to do, I just kind of look over them, and I just really I just go with my hand over wherever I feel heat, I just kind of grab that oil. So for those of you who are like pain, the joint pain, the back pain and things like that, deep blue is a great one. Let's say you don't like deep blue, or you don't have deep blue. I do have copaiba, I have turmeric, ginger, and Roman chamomile.
That sounds nice.
I'll probably add a little lavender in there too, maybe. I know marjoram, it's another one for pain because it's also in the claricom, which is for like the hormonal blend for period pain. But it's an herb, and I don't know that I don't feel like adding that one. So a blend that I would do for that, I've got my base here, my copaiba and turmeric. And then, and so it's ginger. So it's very, very grounded, very basic. And then I have lavender and Roman chamomile. So I'm missing a middle there, right? Or can these be middles too?
This is your middle. I believe ginger can be a middle as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, because ginger is flexible. It can be a middle or a base, as you like. And these two are definitely bases.
Nice. So there is, I don't know that you can see it here. My blend, let's say you come to me and you're like, you have no oils, so like I'll probably give you a sample of a deep blue, but if I were to make a blend for you, I would probably do something like this. Copaiba turmeric, ginger chamomile, and I feel this is a really strong, like this is a super powerful anti-inflammatory blend and very calming.
That looks really nice. Roman chamomile smells very, very strong too, so I would start with just one drop.
It's very powerful.
Very powerful.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Hello Christmas as well.
And what I love about these little bottles, you guys, is that like, and chamomile is in both these books as one for joint pain, okay? That's why I chose it as well. But this one's also for sleep, okay? So if you're putting it at night, hey, you got a twofer, right? You got something that's gonna help you with sleep and then something that can help you with your pain and inflammation as well. So this takes time, you guys. I know that we only have like an hour here and we're trying to give you all the things that we can. But this, I've been with doTERRA for 5 years, okay? So try not to compare like, oh my gosh, she knows all this stuff. It takes time, right?
It really does.
You got your books and you put the time in to really want to learn. I really have a deep desire to only use natural solutions for everything that has to do with my health. And the oils provide that for me. And, and it's super fun to, pre-COVID, we used to do this in person. So you guys would be here in my house and we'll all be like, woo, super fun. It's kind of weird like this so we can't see you guys. But hopefully you're getting an idea of what this looks like. So, I guess I would do, and this is a 3 milliliter. It's not a 10 milliliter. This is like a 3 milliliter. So you also have to look into that. The sheet that we sent you was, it says 15 total drops for a 10 milliliter. So then if this is a 3 milliliter, we're looking at what, like 5 drops? More or less, 5 to 6 drops. And then the rest top it up with the oil.
And if you're not sure on the size of your container, a good rule of thumb is whatever carrier you're using, you want for an adult a 5-to-1 ratio. So 1 drop of oil, at least 5 drops of essential oil, of carrier oil to dilute your essential oil.
Yeah. Can you repeat what you have there? Oh yes, Cynthia. So we've got turmeric, copaiba, Roman chamomile, lavender, and ginger. Mm-hmm.
And another oil that's really coming up from you right now that I want to share with you guys is helichrysum. Because helichrysum is really good for broken bones. So if it's really good for broken bones, I wonder like how beneficial can it be for like arthritis or joint pain and anything that has to do with that. So look it up. Check out that oil and the plant and all the benefits, the properties, and see for yourself.
And we're using a lot of reference books here, but a lot of these books also have a digital format where you can have
We are working on our technical issue. There you go. We're back.
We're back.
We're
sideways.
Again?
Yes.
Better?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right.
I want to make a roller.
Technical difficulties. All right. So what I was telling you, something that I really love, it's this dropper. Okay. And so what I'm wanting to create, but I need to find, and I think I'm going to do apricot kernel that I heard about to create my own oil pulling. I've been using sesame oil and I don't like it. And to use the coconut oil that we use for oil pulling, it's the one that has the fat in it. So it'll turn really hard and I won't be able to use the dropper for it. So I need it to be liquid. I don't want to use fractionated coconut oil for my mouth. I just like to use that for my skin. So once I find that oil that I'm going to make for my oil pulling, and I'm going to add On Guard. It's a blend that's already there. I'm probably going to add a little more clove to that as well. Nice. Okay. And maybe I'll add the peppermint or experiment. It's probably the one that I'm going to do. Experiment.
Softer.
Clove, yeah. And then the On Guard. And then that's going to be, you know, and I'll probably do like 2 droppers and then that'll be my oil pulling. So I don't have to buy the oil pull thing from the store anymore. I just have my own. But I really love these droppers. And once you have an oil, let's say, you know, something like this, like you have a sandalwood, I ran out of it. I buy these droppers, okay? And then I throw away the top and I can reuse that sandalwood. Even if I still have a little bit, let's say I have a quarter of the sandalwood and you wanna make it into a roller or a dropper, maybe you add a carrier oil, nice. And now you have a dropper. And droppers are recommended for really resiny oils. Okay.
Vetiver and myrrh.
Mm-hmm. I also bought spray bottles that fit this. You can also buy rollers that fit the doTERRA bottles so that you can reuse them. And so this, I used a peppermint to do my hair one that I told I right now because I used it all. But I still had a little bit of peppermint and peppermint was in the recipe. So I used that peppermint and then I added the thyme and the rosemary and all the other things. I need to redo it.
If you add other oils, you can add little stickers to that bottle just to know that you have added something else, right? You can add it in the back wherever you want, or you can also remove the sticker. Lemon is really great to remove some of the sticky.
You can even water overnight and it comes out.
There you go. Nice. And then you can use your little stickers to put so what you have.
Exactly. I didn't do it on this one. It'd be super helpful because now I gotta go back and look at find the recipe again. But if you put those little stickers, then okay, that's what it is. I'll just redo it and add again.
Yeah. Sometimes I find one of these and I'm like, what did I put in it?
Where can we buy those droppers? I got them on Amazon. I'll send you guys the link to that in that email that I'll send. Maybe it was an old dropper, but the plastic of the dropper started like puffing and getting weird. Ooh, yeah, this is glass. So for everything that you can use glass, use glass. So this right here is glass. So you want to be able to make sure that you find the glass droppers, not the plastic ones. But yeah, I can see how that could happen, Kira. And super cool, Kira. Yes, I'll send it to your aunt. Kira is listening from Mexico. She's in Mexico. How cool is that? We're going international. Okay. All right. So yeah, so do send me privately her address. I can send her wild orange that you want for her. Okay. All right, you guys. Any other questions? It's time and we want to respect your time as well. Any other questions or anything? Let us know if you do not have, and anyhow, we're gonna have, next Tuesday, there won't be class, the 22nd, because I'm starting my Integrate to Upgrade program. It is the fall equinox, and so that's when we begin. We're gonna have a call during this time then. So that's not gonna work, but we're gonna be back the next Tuesday on the 29th, and we're gonna be doing a cacao ceremony. So how can you create your own cacao ritual, and how can you incorporate oils with that?
Yeah, really good.
Making some chocolate, very informative. You're welcome, Cynthia. And Cynthia, welcome to Integrate to Upgrade. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you so much for showing up, and invite your friends, anyone that you can think of that would benefit from powerful goodness that these oils bring us and all the things that we do and share, bring them on. We're doing these classes for you guys. So to spread the word, spread the love, and keep shining.
Yes, and I want to thank Lindsey also for teaching us last week, for showing up today, and just sharing her wisdom as well, with everything that she knows with blending and all things oil.
Thank you. We'll see
Yeah.
you back here in a couple weeks.
Yes.
All right. I'm going to write this down.
Have a great evening.
Good night, you guys. Thank you. Thank you. Mwah.
Some of that oil.
Thank you, Lindsey. This was amazing. Thank you so much. All right. I'm going to write down here Kira's aunt's address. I love giving away things. We need to do more giveaways. All right.
Yeah.
We're going to upgrade for October, and we're going to give away more things. Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I think that's great. We give away those little tiny bottles. We can, depending on their issues, if they don't have those oils, I think it's great to give them things. I have so many little bottles and droppers and rollers of the little, the little tiny bottles.
Mm-hmm.
I have all the different toppers for it.